So in less than a week, Apple's having an event. Brand new iPhones are coming out onto the market. iPhone 11R, iPhone 11 Pro Plus, Pro Max, Pro Plus, Pro Plus Plus Max. I don't know the names, but it's gonna be something like that. You can quote me on it. So I thought this would be a great time to revisit the iPhone XS. This device right here has been in my pocket and been used the most out of any device I've reviewed at the end of 2018 and in 2019. This is the device that I continuously carry, even with my Android phone of choice, in my pocket for one specific reason, and that is consistency. I rely on this device as a work device, and I haven't had any major issues with it. When it comes to feeling comfortable inside and all warm and fuzzy, the iPhone still does it the best for me, because not once has it crashed to the point where I couldn't use the device or caused me any concerns where I thought I wouldn't be able to use my device because of its software. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been tons of iOS glitches and bugs, but none of them severe enough to stop me from productivity. Now, the design is the same. It's been the same since the iPhone X. I'm getting sick of it. I know we're not getting a redesign this year. We're gonna have to wait till next, but I think it's time, especially when you compare it to other devices like the Note 10 Plus with its beautiful bezel-less display. It makes me want a new design for the iPhone. In terms of durability, I don't have tons of scratches. Like, the back is nice and clean. There's no scratches around it. There's a stainless steel frame, which can't be said for other Android phones. Most don't use stainless steel, but this one has it. Even the little details. This is one of the only devices that the SIM card actually uses an entire metal frame. Most Android phones use a plastic little one. Now, it's not a big deal, but it just shows to you that Apple really pays attention to the small details. Now, I do have one scratch though. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. If you can, I'll shoot some B-roll afterwards, but there's like a little scratch right here going across my screen. And I have to admit, this happened immediately when I got this device. And I don't carry a lot of sharp things in my pocket. I just find the glass on the iPhone displays to be a lot softer than the Gorilla Glass on the Android phones. So the speaker situation is still the same. Still some of the best external speakers you can get on a smartphone. Other vendors tend to emphasize the treble or the bass. The iPhone just does a good job of staying right in the middle. You just get the best balanced sound spectrum. No headphone jack, I'm over it, I'm moving on. Battery life. It's getting worse as the days go by. It just happens to happen after a year. Your battery capacity gets lower, even though mine's at 95%. I find myself having to charge this device more often. If you go heavy on this for the entire day, you definitely need to carry a battery bank with you or purchase the iPhone Smart Battery Case, because you'll have to charge about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Now, the one thing that I despise about iPhones in general, and this goes for every iPhone on the market right now, is the modem they're using. The Intel modem inside of here that gives you the reception is god awful. There are situations where I'll have 4 or 5 bars on an Android phone with a Snapdragon processor, whereas on this device, I'm struggling to get 2 or 3. This is not Apple's fault. This is the whole situation between Apple and Qualcomm. Thank God, in 2020, we're finally gonna get Qualcomm modems back, because you're gonna see a big difference in reception, unless they found a way to fix it with the iPhone 11. Now, the camera, I'll be honest with you, not the best camera compared to some of the Android competition on the market right now. It takes great photos, but it's definitely like 5th or 6th on the list at this point. Most of the time, I'm shooting video. Instagram stories is the #1 thing I use the camera for. Taking videos of things happening is the second thing I use the camera for. And when it comes to video, to this day, the iPhone is still the best for shooting video on a smartphone. Now, when it comes to the zoom lens, I'm glad there is one. There's been a few times I had to use it, but overall, if it wasn't there, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't miss it. I would rather have a wide lens than a zoom lens, and I'm super happy that Apple's incorporating one in the upcoming iPhones. So I know this sounds like the most boring revisit you're ever gonna watch, and if you're falling asleep, I don't blame you. I would too if I was watching myself talk about this device right now. But you have to understand something. Boring revisits are exactly what you want in a smartphone 8 to 10 months later. It means it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Now, I think if you were to be buying an iPhone today, most people should buy the iPhone XR. The price is good, and the feature difference for a lot of people is probably not worth the upgrade to the iPhone XS. For me, I'm a display junkie. I always have to have the best display on a smartphone, so I'm always gonna be going for the more expensive iPhones. But to this day, 8 to 10 months later, the iPhone XS is still holding up solid. No complaints minus the modem. And overall, it's still going strong to this day. I could probably rock this phone for another 2 years and still have no complaints besides the battery life. Anyways, that wraps up this little revisit. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this smartphone, let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.